welcome back. It feel like we're in pardon weeks. I'm ready to go, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Welcome to More Than the Title, episode 245. I'm your host, as usual, Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer, Outside the Box Digital. And, of course, I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. What's the vibe, baby?
You already know, man. We back in the building. Yo, you a pod fiend.
I love it. I love this shit. I love this shit.
You love this. The niggas, I feel like we ain't partying forever, man. We just was on Thursday, but we doing it 2 times a week, man. You gotta slow down, man.
I miss the people. I love the people. If I leave, will the street still love me?
They still love you though, but will they still love you though? You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, man, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. You know it's Tuesday, our first favorite day of the week, hard day. You know what it is. And you see Cuzzo was already hyped. He was ready to get back to y'all. He was ready to start partying again. Listen, some of y'all don't even party 1 time a week consistently. We party 2 times a week, and you see the energy. He's still ready to be like, let's push for 3. Let's push for 4. He's ready to party every day. So look, you only do it. You know why he do it? Because it's not work for us. He do it because we love to do it. And when you love to do something, it's a testament what Cuzzo just showed you. It ain't work no more. It ain't work. It's what we love. You know, with that being said, G&T, grateful and thankful. Shit, I'm grateful for that kind of energy right there. When you ask us all the time and you hear people say, yo, entrepreneurship is hard. Be careful who you jump off the bridge with. You see, it's energy like that that makes the decision no-brainer. When you got a business partner that give you that kind of energy, that wake up and like, yo, let's get it. We didn't get it today. Let's do it again. When they got that, it's infectious. It infects you, so it makes you want to go. Cuz I always say, we got another gear. We got another gear. We in 18th gear, nigga. We in 18th gear. How many more gears, nigga?
Somebody got another gear.
This is why we do it for y'all. We love what we do, man. Like I said, G&T, I'm grateful for Cuzzo. Shout out to Charlemagne the God. Grateful for Charlemagne the God for reposting us this week, man. Reposted one of our stories with our big bro, Doug Melville, who's on the check-in. Doug, what up, baby? Doug is already on the check-in. Shout out to Doug, man. Doug, I don't know if you've seen that Charlemagne had reposted the clip we did with you, man. But, you know, he reposted that. So that was a good look for us, man. And helping to get out the story of your family, because it's very important for us to understand our history, because we don't want his story to become our history. You heard? G&T, we back. You know what it is, your favorite podcast. Cuzzo, take it away.
Let's get it, man, with that shit.
Let's start the show.
Get it right. Before I get his brother's intro, right? I'm going to keep it real. So he hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm going to give you the story. Hit me up on LinkedIn as I was hitting him up. This shit never happened. It shit never has happened in the history of the show. I'm literally hitting him up. He liked the post. I saw what he was doing. I'm like, yo, nah, this is dope. And then he hit me up literally as I'm writing the post. As I'm literally trying to DM, he was like, yo, love what y'all doing. And I was like, yo, we got to get you on the show. And here we are today, man, if it's word. So today, More Than the Title, y'all, if y'all first-time listeners, we're joined by a true visionary and a coach in creativity. He's the founder, CEO of 5 Mic Studio, the powerhouse behind 5 Mics, the hip-hop trading card shaking up the industry by blending music, storytelling, and gameplay. He graduated from Columbia University, where he co-founded the Columbia University Society of Hip Hop, and later earned his MBA from UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business. He's built an impressive career in big tech, roles at Facebook, while making waves as an independent artist, Billboard-charting artist under the name Call Me Ace, known for his thoughtful, uplifting hip-hop and mission to live a rich life and not just a life full of riches. So inspired by his love for card games and hip-hop culture, he launched 5 Mics. The company quickly earned a spot in Techstar's Music Accelerator program and saw its first physical card deck sell out. You feel me? So he's changing the game. You see him at these conferences.
Yeah.
See him in the community, because he has a large community with 5 Mics. What he's doing is impressive. You've seen him in the boardroom. You've seen him at big tech. Let's introduce our brother, Ace Patterson, a.k.a. Call Me Ace, y'all.
What's goody? Listen, I didn't send that to you, so the fact that you wrote that up and put all that to that's crazy. That's respect. I appreciate that. I was like, hey.
You know what that line, that's your line though. Life full of living a rich life and not just a life full of riches.
Yeah, I like it.
I met a doctor, because I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut, right? And I went to a doctor that was in Westport, and you know, people in Connecticut, they understand the difference between that. You know what I mean? But that's the difference between, you know, prisons and broken down buildings and like deer in the front yard. You know what I mean? But anyway, I went to this doctor there, and that was something that he told me. He was just like, make sure that you live a rich life and not a life full of riches. And coming from the hood, I was like, this man don't got no idea what he's talking about. Why would you tell me that? But I saw that was the Lord touching me before I even met the Lord. I'm just like, this is how I want you to live your life, because when I'm about to take you, that's what I want you to be rooted in. So it's just been my mind since, you know what I mean? In my music, the way that I move, that's just how I operate. You know what I mean? But anyway, appreciate y'all having me here, man. What's good?
Oh, bro, come on, man. We already
I like it. See, I tell you, his energy ready to go, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, because you know, sometimes we get so excited that I forget sometimes. I'm human, I make mistakes. Before we continue this, I gotta say the word phenomenal, because you see he's already going already. Another phenomenal guest. Listen, get the button ready, get the download button ready, get the subscribe button ready, get the like button ready, because I guarantee you he gonna drop some gems on you guys. He gonna give y'all some jewels. Y'all gonna be like, yo, we need to link up with this dude. We need to connect with this dude. Get ready. He has a lot of powerful information that he's gonna give out to you guys. Please pay attention. We're batting 1,000.
That's a fact.
Oh, damn.
No pressure.
Nah. I don't even play baseball. Let's go.
Come on, let's get it, bro. But talk to us. Let's go from the beginning, bro. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Immigrant parents. Tell us about growing up, early influences, man. What that was like.
I bet. Grew up in a Jamaican household. Parents, older siblings, all was born in Jamaica. I was the first one born here. Me and my older sister, we was the first one born here. And then all my other siblings was born here. But, you know, Jamaican house, I learned what Black was in the streets. But growing up, you know, this whole concept of being a minority wasn't a thing that was preached or even felt in my house. You know what I mean? Never meant to feel lesser than. I went to a middle school and high school in Greens Farms, Westport area. And I remember as I was walking through one day, my mom caught me. She was like, yo, why are you walking with your head down? Walk with your head high. And, you know, there's a song in Jamaica, you know, Mr. Vegas, head high. And it was this just mindset. You know what I mean? Just, it don't matter what room you're in. It don't matter if nobody look like you. It don't matter if you walk with your head high. You know what I mean? 3 things that I feel like shaped me early on. One was my dad. He would say survival is the name of the game. You know, he didn't go past the 8th grade. But he taught me a lot about perseverance. He taught me a lot about work ethic, how to get it no matter what, no excuse. They don't owe you nothing. So don't walk around with your hand out expecting something. And so that just really, you know, taught me a lot. And then my mom, she taught me that you're not poor, you're just broke. So damn.
Double.
I'm just saying.
Nah, so you know, it taught me a lot about, you know, what some used to call ghetto. You know what I mean? It was resourceful intelligence. You know what I mean? How do you take the little that you got and make something? How can you see beyond your means? How can you create a world that you don't even live in yet? You know, so she taught me a lot. Like that's how I grew up in a creative house. She was always making songs that no one knew of, but me and my siblings was singing in the household like it should have been on the radio. You know what I mean? She was writing plays. She was writing books. I was making the covers of her books, like all this stuff. This is how I grew up. You know what I mean? While we were sleeping on the floor in a homeless shelter. You know what I mean? Like that's how we was growing up. And then my aunt, rest in peace, Auntie Tots, she taught me to learn something new every day. And so it didn't matter what I was going through, what kind of day I was going through. When she would pick me up from school, she'd be like, yo, what did you learn? It didn't matter how small. It didn't matter how big. She was just like, okay, good. Just making sure that you learn something new today. And so I take that. Now I'm learning how to do Postgres SQL. You know, I just got a certificate in JavaScript not too long ago. Last year, I taught us C#. And it's crazy because like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I can't remember, when I dropped the album Severance, there's this line on Techstars where I'm like, I'm a tech star and I don't know how to code lines. And at the time, it was a cute bar. It was fun. I was like, look at me. You know what I mean? But now it's outdated because I know how to code, like for real. And I taught, and it's kind of a lie, you know, rappers be lying. Like I taught myself how to code HTML back in the 7th grade, back when it wasn't cool. I was just trying to make, you know, skateboard, roller blading websites. You know what I mean? So I knew how to teach myself how to code, but it was just one of those things. It was just like, if I don't know something right now, that's not gonna stop me. You know what I mean? If I don't know how to get to the other side, that's not gonna prevent me from going to the other side if that's really where I want to go, if that's really where I feel called to go. So growing up in Bridgeport, man, I mean, you know, it's not pretty. It's like a mini Harlem. You know what I mean? My family, when they came from Jamaica, they went to, you know, Crown Heights and all this stuff, right? Made their way to Bridgeport, Connecticut. So I grew up around a whole bunch of Caribbeans. Going to Columbia, you know, I only wanted to go to Columbia because it was in New York and that's where hip hop's from. And I just wanted to be around rap. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to go rap. Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, I didn't know what Columbia meant, you know what I mean? Or any of that. Yeah. And even now, you know, like, it's just words, right? Like, we put meaning behind words. And so, you know, if these become ways for me to meet people, then I just want to meet people. But don't judge me based off this stuff, because anybody can get this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just stuff. Like, what happens when we die? You know, and that's really what drives me. It's at the end of the day, I wanna live a life of significance. So going through that, it was just, I bet, you know, I've gone farther than my dad. I've gone farther than my mom. So every single step that I've taken since then, I'm learning as I'm going. I'm free falling, free flying, however you want to call it. But I just make it look like I know what I'm doing, even though I don't.
Oh, shit, something you touched on though. Dr. Collins said some shit this morning is almost to the T of what you're saying. He said innovation comes from marginalization. You know what I'm saying? So like when we don't have the resources, we have to be creative. We don't have studio time. So we got to figure it out. We're going to do it on our phone because that's all we have. We're going to figure out a way. And that says a lot about your mindset, bro. Like, you know, that we got to figure it out. And we just have to have more people think with that mindset, bro, because this shit ain't easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's real powerful, right? Like, you think about going to the gym. It's like, I bet you might think that going to a gym with all the equipment and stuff is going to get you fitter, but it don't. It just means that you're going to a gym with a whole bunch of equipment. You know what I mean? But you still got to do the work. You still got to do the work. Now, like, can you fantasize that it's easier to get fitter with all the equipment? Sure, but you got people that's getting fit in jail. You know what I mean? Just doing, you know what I mean? Just pull-ups and push-ups, right? Like, at the end of the day, you can use your own body weight to get fit. So it's not about the equipment. It's not about the stuff. It's not about the stuff that you don't have. It's about what you do have. And at the very least, if you have your mind, you can do a lot, man. If you got faith, you got health, which is honestly the wealthiest thing you can have is just good health. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Somebody said about the mental part. Because you love that. I saw this shit on Instagram. He said, the heaviest weight in the gym is the gym door.
Yeah, because you got to choose to walk through it.
That's I was like, I never heard
to walk through it. That's the fact.
In the gym is the door.
Yeah, that's a fact. But you know,
and remember back in the pandemic, you couldn't even get into the gym door, right?
Oh no, that's not true, because we went to Connecticut.
Listen. Bridgeport. Hold on. Yeah, you was in Bridgeport. I know they didn't care. I know they didn't care.
Yo, let me tell you something. I drove a fucking hour and 20 minutes from where I live. Yeah. Bridgeport had one of the only LA fitnesses that was fucking open, and that shit looked like the free cheese line outside. Motherfuckers was live.
Although I wasn't there, that sounds 100% correct. Look,
that's
I
was
in Oakland. I was in Oakland. They shut everything down. It was sad. But you know what I mean? But again, it's like, and this is no like shade to anybody, right? Pandemic, we all reacted in our own ways. But like, you know, for me personally, it was like, I bet, let me hit these stairs. let me hit this boardwalk. Let me, you know, I got some, you know, pulleys and all the kind of stuff, got some weights, whatever, you know what I mean? It's just, what are we going to do? What are we going to do when there's an obstacle? And especially in entrepreneurship, and I don't got to tell y'all, man, like, there's an obstacle everywhere you turn. So at some point you got to be like, it can't be the obstacles. It got to be me. Because the obstacles ain't going to stop me. I'm going to stop me. So.
But I want to tell you this, though. I want to tell you this. You made a valid point about it's not about the equipment, it's about the mindset, right?
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, it's getting you out the house. So when Cuzzo says the hardest thing to do is get out out the house and walk through that door. See, the gym makes you leave the house.
That's fair.
See, when you're in the house, you can make any excuse in the world not to do something. Oh, I got to study. I got to do homework, or the kids, or there's 100 excuses of why you wouldn't work out at home. But the moment you make the commitment to leave the house, it kind of almost forces you to at least do something. So that's all I want to add to that, right? Is like, and I'm telling you, like, I'm a gym rat. Like I'm a gym rat. I got a fitness company, the whole shit. And I don't work out at home. I'm just telling you, like, I don't work out at home. Like, going to the gym is, I need to walk into that space. Yeah, man. It's yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just a certain level of like euphoria you feel when you walk in and you see other people and you see motivate, you know what I'm saying? And you see people at different stages of their workout. So even if you're not where you want to be, not that you're judging other people, but you can look and say, you know what, I'm not by myself, right? He looking like he had day 1, 2, or he looking like he restarted. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a push, right? To say, like, I'm not alone. This is my community. You know what I'm saying? We all working together towards a common goal. So I just wanted to throw that in there. You know what I mean? Some people like myself, I need that.
I was gonna say for the psychology piece, same thing we used to do when we used to sell the mixtapes. We do music too, bro. We did music. We did a lot, bro. So I used to make sure I would never give out a CD for free. Never. I used to run up on people in the park. You running a full court, and I'm like, yo, da da, and they be like, yo, you got to spit something right now. Stop the game. Spit some, boom, boom, and motherfuckers taking $1 out their sweaty sock. But I'll take that. You know why? Because psychology is, if you're gonna pay $1 for it, you're gonna go home and you're gonna listen to it at least once.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
At least once. If I gave it to you for free, you wouldn't have valued it. It's the same thing like because of saying,
yeah, man.
Well, you know what I mean?
Environment's big. Environment's big.
Absolutely.
And there's two sides. There's two sides to this because we're all saying the same thing. On the one hand, you know, I grew up in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I knew I was Jamaican. When I went back to Jamaica as a 3-year-old, you know what I mean? It was like, oh snap, this is home. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
Changed my whole perspective of environment. You know what I mean? From an early age. My daughters right now, they've probably traveled the world way more than I did by the time I was 17. You know, God is merciful. You know, that's what I want for them. And to see that, like, they also speak 3 languages too. So it's like, they're different. They're different. I'm grateful, right? But like, environment matters so much because then you go back to, I studied anthropology in Columbia University, you know, very, very nerdy, heady stuff. But the whole concept of it was you go to a place, you learn some stuff, and then you got to reincorporate back into the place that you came from. And now you're a different person, but you're back in the same space. So how do you operate as a new person in the same body, in the same old space? You don't, you're different, right? And so when you reincorporate yourself back into an environment that you used to be in, but your mindset is different, you have to operate different, and therefore you change the environment that you're then in. So then you start thinking like, oh snap, like, well, if they're not changing with me, but I want to keep changing, then something has to give. And so me personally, right? Okay, bet I go to college, right? New change of environment, I'm being exposed to people, right? Friends from one of my homies that we was rapping with, he's from Lesotho, you know, in the sub-Saharan Africa, right? I'm learning about Lesotho, and we getting played in a radio station out in South Africa, crazy stuff. And I'm like, at this point, I've only been to Jamaica, Spain, Bridgeport, and New York. You know, like I ain't really been nowhere like that. You know what I mean? But like being exposed to that, okay, bet, right? You're getting and so the more you expose and change your environment, you take something with you, even if you end up your return flight is back home. You know what I mean? Back in Bridgeport, Connecticut, you're still different, right? So environment's humongous. I 1,000% agree with you. And there's something beautiful about just like closing the door on all the other stuff, the distractions, unplugging, going somewhere else, right? So I'm totally with you. The other thing that I want to add is I specifically built my studio in my place so that I did not have to go anywhere else. I was all about vertical integration. I was, you know, working at, you know, these corporate companies that take up so much of my time. I could, you know, the extra 30, 40 minutes to go somewhere else so someone can hit the R button. I was like, nah, let me just do this myself and let me actually save money over time by all the money that I've spent going to this place, And so what ended up being like the safe haven to go meet other rappers that are like half drunk. And I asked somebody to like do a course for me, and It took them 4 weeks to write 6 bars. I'm like, I bet, let me figure something else out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got time for this. I don't do the stuff that other people be doing in the studio. So let me just lock in with myself and create the environment in my mind. Because at that point, it's not about, am I going to a different place physically? Am I going to a different place mentally? So for me, that's scheduling. That's, communication with my wife. Babe, I'm on a podcast right now. Please, we got kids. Let's figure this out. So I can lock in and be here instead of feeling like they're here and I'm there and you know what I mean? And so like environment is big. Environment is deeper than a physical place. That's what I wanted to say.
You gotta listen to him. You can learn something.
That's a fact, man. Before we get too far ahead, though, you mentioned something, and it really just, I think this is the first time I've ever asked this question, because the way you said it now just got the wheel spinning. We talk about growing up in an environment and having learned behavior. We talk about this all the time on the show, right? Like, how do you explain to a fish water? How do you explain to a fish water? How do you explain it? He's born in water. All he understands is water, right? So you were born West Indian, right? And there's a stereotype that comes with being with that, like hard working. Y'all have like 6, 7 jobs. You're working at 6, 7 years old. It gets crazy, right?
I don't have the stereotype, but yeah.
But you never heard of that?
No, I'm saying I don't like.
I'm not
going against the stereotype.
No. But what I'm saying though is when you were born into that, right? Like you said, like your mother's telling you a certain thing. Your the people that are raising you, your village, everybody's moving a certain way. You don't realize what they're grooming you for, right? You don't realize you're just developing these skills. You're developing this work habit. You're developing this foundation, right?
Right.
When did it ever like occur to you? You went to Jamaica. That doesn't count because everybody's going to kind of be the same. Did it ever occur to you when you seen somebody else and kind of like how they were raised, like, holy shit, like we're raised completely different when you see somebody else's like work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Or you see a different work ethic and you look at yours and you're like, damn, bro, like,
man,
you know what I mean?
I remember the first time I went to one of my homies' house.
Right.
He went to the Greens Farms Academy, the middle school that I went to.
Yeah.
And his dad was famous and stuff like that. So, they got outdoor pool, indoor pool, all kind of stuff. We just chilling on his mom's bed playing that snowboarding game on PlayStation. Y'all remember that one? The tricky.
Yeah, it's not the Tony Hawk, it's the other joint.
Nah, it's the snowboarding one. It's the snowboarding.
Yeah, the snowboarding joint. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, between that and Madden, we just playing on his parents' bed, just like in our like outdoor clothes and that, and just I was like, you really live like this, like
exactly right.
I loved it. I could ask for anything to eat and I got it. What?
Right.
I was listen. I was like 11 years old. I was like, y'all can't tell me this is real life.
This can't be life. Exactly.
You know the Cat Williams joke? He come back home from Martin Lawrence's house and he kicking over his own furniture. That's how I felt. I was like, Mom, this can't be real life. Because they got an indoor pool
and an outdoor pool.
When it's cold out, because we're in Connecticut, when it's cold outside, we can still swim. What are you talking about?
Your feet 80 degrees.
Nah, bro, stop. I'm 11 years old.
Yeah, like,
how are you gonna what? Boundary breaking, right? And I'm going back home and I'm going to the same bus stop where we doing the same old stuff. I'm like, yo, there's indoor pools. There's stairs that turn a different color when you walk on them. Like, what are we talking about? Why are we here? Like, these are like.
Why are we here?
Anyway. Why are we here?
No, that's real shit.
Anyway,
that's the real. Yo, bro,
I'm relaxed.
No, that's real shit. But that's the question a lot of us don't ask. You asked the question because you was exposed to it.
Yeah. Nah, bro, I'm not gonna hold you, man, because like, I was surrounded by people that wore the same old, I don't know if there was New Balances or whatever, but they was just random shoes that were just dirty, like forever, and I'm not gonna lie, like I never understood it until like it just didn't matter anymore. Like brands and labels and stuff, it just, like, to me personally, it just never, it just stopped mattering. And it was like, I don't care what this is, who this is, like, I'm gonna just wear something that look good on me. Like, you make the clothes, and then when it's something that you can just buy and you don't care how much it costs, like, that's what it is. That's actually what luxury is. But you know, just growing up in a culture where it's, and we rap about it, we talk about it. Like, I just remember, like, people, you know, we in project buildings, we got lines full of shoes, but we're still in project buildings. It's like, and that's no shade or nothing. It's just like, what do I want to do? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, because that's me trying to project something that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'd rather, like, be on a boat. Like, I'd rather be on a boat. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's that. And I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I got a person close to my family. I'll call him my godfather, although he's Jewish, so he technically can't be my godfather. But I mean, he put me on my first boat. He was like, yo, he got me a Jamaican flag too to put on my boat for when it's time to get my boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just talking about it now. Like, I'm about to go buy a boat tomorrow, but I'm saying, like, he bought me this flag from when I was in middle school to be like, when you get your boat, you put this on your boat. And he's teaching me how to ride a boat. I'm in middle school, bro. Like, I'm about to go back to the hood after this boat excursion, but I was just on a boat. And so, like, these are the things, I'm just thinking about these right now because I'm talking with y'all, right? I'm in the hood with boat experience. I'm going to a school where, like, they throw me in the middle of the woods for a week and they call that fun. I'm flipping out, but I'm also like, I was just like in the woods for a week, like cleaning my boat, my bowl with leaves, which I still think I don't think I'll ever do that again. But like, that's what they had me do. That's what they had me do for a week. I'm like pretend surviving in the middle of New Hampshire, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, these were real trip experiences that, like, low key are scarring, but also like memorable. And it's like, then I get thrown back into the hood at the end of it. And I'm just like, what am I supposed to do with my life? Like, anyway, environment.
Hate it.
Oh shit!
I'm telling. Wait, tell him our pool story. I know you know about the pools. Tell him about our hood pools. Tell him our pool. We got the pool stories too.
Which one? Shit, which one? I don't know where you're going with it.
Ace, you want to hear our pool story?
Talk to me.
Here's our pool story. From where we from, we got a community pool. It's in Crotona Park.
Like the YMCA type.
Right. No, we ain't got no. See, you're going too far. We in the projects. Ain't no fucking YMCA in the South.
There's
the YMCA is in Bridgeport. So if you call YMCA fancy, that's crazy.
You're going too far. You're going too far. You're going
too far. All my homies on Main Street. That's crazy.
No, I'm a member from July to September.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I know what you're talking about.
So we got this fucking community pool, right? Crotona pool, right? So we go to this fucking pool, right? Yeah. And everybody loved the pool, but because ain't nobody got no fucking outdoor pool experience, this is the only pool we know. When they closed the pool, we called it night pool. We would bend open the gate and slide through the gate and go swimming at night.
The rules. Yeah.
Yo, Ace, this shit was, you talking about the highlight of motherfuckers' life? Go to night pool, right? They only drain the water after, obviously, you know, it's always one to do some stupid shit.
Right.
Somebody end up getting drunk and all that and jumping off the diving board in the deep end with no water, end up, you know, getting hurt, whatever. So they shut it down. But I'm telling you, like, that, listen to the different experiences. Our experience is night pool. we that's breaking and entering. That's trespassing.
You can say that. You could phrase it that way if you want to. I personally prefer night pool. That
night pool, right?
Right. That's resourceful. That's resourceful intelligence. That's
man.
So listen. My wife. She's from Ethiopia, and we've had this conversation before. We talk about how we got peoples in Jamaica, we got peoples in Ethiopia that are brilliant, right? Brilliant. And if you gave them a fraction of resources that we have in the States, like we think we grew up hard, bro, like in Dese, Ethiopia, like Stop, bro. Like I've seen kids playing in mud. You know what I mean? Like it's not it's a different scale, right? And so you give them a fraction of what we got here with their level of not just intelligence but willpower, like that desire and hunger of like, give me an inch and I'm gonna make a yard. They go crazy, right? But if they don't got that, what can they do? And so you see some of the most the ingenuity of this is what we got, so I'm gonna make this with it type of stuff. It's like you wouldn't even see it here because the resources we have quenches the thirst to innovate. You know what I mean? In certain areas. And so you see some of the craziest innovations in places where you're really like starving. And I just think it's beautiful. So yeah, man, night pool. We're not calling it breaking and entering. We're all the way we look, we don't gotta call it that. It's night.
Notice I led with night pool. I'm just saying now as adults, right?
Yeah.
As adults, you know what it is now as an adult, right? When the cops used to come in. I mean, we was wild, Ace. When I say wild, not only was we in the pool, you know, the hood is famous for pit bulls. The pit bulls is in the fucking pool. Everybody's in the fucking pool.
Well, first of all, I'm not swimming no fucking pit bulls. He's bugging. I didn't do that.
The dogs come with you, bro. They jumping into it, bro.
I didn't do it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And then,
my experience is kind of leaning towards Ace.
So that's fucked up, cuz you was at the
I was in the spot, but you was in the spot.
Wait, you was in the YMCA, cuz that's fucked up, bro. You didn't even invite me to the YMCA one time.
First of all, they got the family deal, 400.
Yo, I feel different though, because I could have sworn the YMCA was like a hood thing. Like that's in Bridgeport, Connect. That's on the south side of Bridgeport, which is not a pretty, like Fat Joe has stories about getting jumped by Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. That's on the south side of Bridgeport. That's not like a pretty spot, but we had a YMCA. I learned how to do capoeira at the YMCA, bro.
You know how to do it. You know how to do what?
They call me Guerrero, bro. That means warrior. I was out there.
Hell no. No.
Don't ever do that fucking dance again.
Bro, that's the jingle, bro. Don't let me see the jingle, bro. Stop it, bro. Listen, stop. This is a whole different conversation.
We ain't going unless it's free, bro.
Listen.
The park.
So it was free. It was free for us because we was hood kids. If you're an adult, you got to pay some. But we was hood kids, so it's free.
Yo, that is wild.
I swear you can throw that on bro. And the only reason why I did capoeira, I'm not gonna lie, right? Because y'all know Tekken. Y'all know.
Yeah. Of course.
That's his fighting style. I wanted to fight like Eddie, bro. Stop it, man.
These young boys is wild. They're not trying to hear that.
Bro, not gonna lie, it was weird doing capoeira in the middle of the hood because they forced you to do a show, like a hey, show these people what you can do, and I'm like, here? I'm dressed up. And what are these dudes with the bandanas and stuff, and they just looking like, what is these?
And what they say, regular shit, I'll fuck him up.
Hey, I'll fuck with you, Ace.
I'm over here like this. They like, bro, if you move this out of my way.
I fuck with you, Ace. Be clear, and it's funny that you said Fat Joe, because that's where I'm from. I'm from Fat Joe Projects. That's where I'm from Forest Project. I'm from 730 Fat Joe from the building Muhammad. He know who I am. But it's crazy because if you'd have came to my hood doing that dancing karate shit, we'd have packed your ass up, son. Get out of pack your ass up, son. I ain't gonna hold you. I'd have packed your ass up, Ace. We'd have kicked your little dancing ass about the hood.
Look at this Eddie Guerrero. Look, if you don't get yourself, I'm trying to go to the store.
Yo, Ace was looking like a fame dancer.
Oh my god. Yo, I swear.
I want your lunch lying, bro. Monday and Thursday.
I'm not lying, bro. These are real things that play in my head, bro.
This is stupid. So yo, I'm gonna ask you some questions. So what made you get in the rap, bro? What's one of the things that made you one of the
not capoeira, bro? I'll tell you that.
Yo, Cosmo, this is why that, ladies and gentlemen, you don't understand. You don't see the fucking joy. I'm crying, real tears. You don't see the joy that we have. This is why Cosmo like, yo, I want to do it another day of the week because we love this shit, man. Where else can you come and listen to real stories like this?
Come on,
right? Uninterrupted, unfiltered, uncensored, and laugh and be able to express it and get people to understand and relate to you and just be in a safe space, bro. This shit is the best job in the world, man. This is the best in the world right here, man.
I love it. Yeah, man. Nah, so I mean, getting into hip hop. I mean, you know, when you grow up in Bridgeport, Brooklyn, Harlem, Bronx, like what, like. It's like being born in whatever Spain. Like you're gonna speak Spanish, you're gonna eat croquetas, you're gonna right. Like that's just what's around you. So growing up, but I'm not gonna lie, I was always different, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I was in the hood. I'm from the East Coast, and Snoop Dogg was my favorite rapper. You know what I mean? Like in an era where like you couldn't like West Coast rap. You know what I mean? So I'll get into real fights as a third grader because it was like, oh, Doggy Style. Which first of all, why was I listening to Doggy Style? 7 years old, but
I'm just saying that was wild.
That just
impressive.
Was wild.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop I can go with.
Snoop Dogg made me want to grow my hair. Snoop Dogg made me want to rap. Snoop Dogg was dope. I was like, hey man, Snoop Dogg's the dopest, and that was fighting words when you had Biggie still alive. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
Anyway,
for sure.
Word, yeah, just growing up. So I the first thing that I was doing as an artist was illustrating, drawing, pen and paper. I was drawing like Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man, Wolverine, all that kind of stuff. And then I was doing acting. I was doing like acting troops around the Northeast. I was doing poetry. I was getting awards for writing poems. And then in middle school, it wasn't cool to write poems, especially when you're in the hood and especially when you're Black. So it's like, I bet, let me take these poems, let me put them over some music, and then let me, you know what I mean, syncopate a little bit, throw a little style on it, and then boom. I was I was freestyling in the hood. It was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, what's your name? You know what I mean? I ain't gonna tell you what my name was back then, but it was different.
Nah. We're not doing that on this show.
Different. That's all I gotta say. It was different. Well, all right. So my first name. Actually, I had. All right, y'all want to know my first name? Like the first one. This is the one. This is exclusive. This is all right.
Let's go. Let's give you my first rap name too.
Yeah, all right. Everybody got to give their first rap names.
First rap name right now. First rap name.
My first one, and this wasn't what the hood called me. This is what I wanted people to call myself because I thought that's how you do it. You know what I mean? It was gonna be Cash's Riddles. I thought that was like.
Cash's Riddles, like Cash's play, but Cash's Riddles.
I was a big nerd, bro, and I thought that was fire, and no one agreed with me.
I would have never called you that either.
That died like day one. It was like, I'm Cash's Riddles, no, you're not. Right? What ended up being so I was already being called Ace, right? And so it was like, oh, Young Ace, because I was 13 years old rapping. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, okay, Young Ace. And then as I kept rapping in the hood, there was like, oh, the Pyro, because I was always just spitting some fire bars, right? Okay. And so it went from, we're not going to count Cashes because that was just me, but just I'm talking with y'all and that just came out of, I just remembered that was a, right? So Young Ace, my first project when I was in high school was called Young Ace because I didn't have a name because they were like, you're not going to call yourself that. So Young Ace. And then they were calling me the Pyro. So it was like, I bet the Pyro. So then I spent all of college at Columbia dropping projects as the Pyro. When we opened up for Snoop Dogg and when I started the Columbia Kush for short, because that's just who I was. When we opened up for Snoop Dogg, I was the Pyro, but because people call me Ace, they started calling me Ace the Pyro. And so that's like an unofficial name that became a name. You know what I mean? It's just, again, like people just started evolving, right? Like I'm in this space. So it was like Ace the Pyro is opening up for Snoop Dogg. And then, you know, I gave my life to Jesus. I didn't like where my direction was going. Everything was crazy. People was getting locked up. I was like, yo, I got to pause. All that died. All that went away. And then I was talking to a homie. I came back from studying abroad in Barcelona. I was in business school. I was about to graduate. I'm about to go to Deloitte, you know, be a real corporate worker. And he was like, yo, do you like know how to rap still? And I was like, yeah, but you know, I ain't trying to rap. Like, I'm about to get married in a couple months, about to get a real job with healthcare. I'm gonna have more money than most of these rappers just having a regular job. Like, why would I want to rap? You know, these are the real. I'm like, if it's not for money, it's not for girls, it's not for fame. Like, why am I rapping? Right? That's literally what I'm telling him. And he was like, so he was literally like, everything that you just said, you can just rap about it. And that like was a freeing thing. It was like, oh snap, yeah, I could just rap about my life as a person with a real job and a wife, and I'm not chasing for the same stuff that people are chasing. And then I was like, yo, I don't have a rap name. I'm not going back to my old rap name. So he was like, well, what does it say on Instagram? And it said, call me Ace, because people call me Ace. And he was like, boom, that's your rap name, call me Ace. And I was like, that sounds weird. He was like, so there's a Tribe Called Quest. And I was like, dang, I bet. Then that's my name. And I didn't overthink it. I didn't do it because again, I wasn't doing it for the same reasons as I was as a kid. It was just like, all right, bet. Well, if I have something to say, then let me say it. And then I started rapping and people started catching, and then the rest was what it was.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
first rap names. I don't want to hear none of y'all's responses. I ain't forget.
So I'll give you the real. My first one was Crisis. I didn't like it.
There's a producer named Crisis, though. That's not bad. That's not a bad name.
Crisis. That was my first. I never said this in life.
You know what's crazy? I'm learning a lot of new shit about you, cuz YMCA,
right.
Crisis. Never heard this shit before in my life.
This is what it's about.
People started calling me Mass. I don't know if you know this, cuz so
okay.
I had Massacre as a name, but Massacre. But Mass, people started calling me Massacre. I started sounding like Cassidy in high school. Cassidy was my favorite rapper at that time. He was Punchline, Heavy Smack, DVD Cassidy. It was to the point where I sounded exactly like him. I'll never forget. I don't know if I told you the story, cuz this nigga called me. I had the Nokia Engage. Cassidy called me when he came out with his first album, that type joint.
Okay,
like, hearing about you, B. He's like, Mass and Cass, we supposed to do a song, all types of shit, bro. I'm in the car with Hayes and his cousin Jason. I got him on speakerphone, bro. Word to mother, bro. So that's why people call me Mass. I sounded like Cassidy so much. So I would battle, rip everybody. I would go on Fordham Road, and it just stuck. So nigga, at 37, people still go outside for eggs. Yo, Mass, what up? Yo, what up, B? it just is what it is.
I like it.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is.
I like it.
So if we're gonna keep it 100, you know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? I told you my capoeira story. What are you talking about?
Keep it a bun, nigga.
If you don't tell me everything right now,
I got you. So it's crazy because I'm from one of the birthplaces of hip hop, but I didn't start rapping at that time. I wasn't really into music because I was in the streets and shit. Once I moved over towards the Soundview section, you know what I'm saying? That's when I started really like getting into music and all that. So I was in the hood in Forest, they call me Bad Chad. You understand what I'm saying? They call me Bad Chad. That was my everybody to this day, all the oldest, they go Bad Chad. That's how they knew me. So when I started rapping, because I was still wilding out, my nickname was Madness. You understand? That was my rap name, Madness, for a real long time, because they like, yo, you are insane. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the way you bug out in the streets and then you rap, Madness. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was my first rap name, Madness. And, I carried that for a real long time. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah, man. And it became a party. But what I was going to say was, you was almost close. You met Snoop, right? Snoop, Crip and all that. Instead of Pyro, like, the Pyro, you could have been Pyru Ace. Now that got a ring to it. You know what I'm saying? Pyru Ace would have kind of been like
blood.
I'm just saying though, like, just with the whole culture, creating the character, the culture, the gangbanging thing. I'm saying, like, because they was calling him the Pyro, so it wouldn't have been too much to be like, yo, Pyru Ace. You understand what I'm saying?
I had been mistakenly told, like, when I would say, oh, the Pyro, they think I said Ace the Pyro, and like some people would be like, oh, that's like yay, and other people was like, oh, you're trying to squabble, and I was like, both are incorrect. I said Ace the Pyro. And I got not even trying. I've been pressed. Yeah. I'm not here. Like, I got cousins in it, you know what I mean? I got cousins and Bloods and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They told me don't do it. They literally was like, yo, you of all the ones, right? Like, stick to the books and get out of here.
Yeah.
So it was one of those ones where it's like I wanted to do it because my cousins was doing it, but when they told me don't do it, then I wasn't gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. And we got a lot of comments on Instagram. Shout out to my bro Lamont, man. He on Instagram, his first time tuning in. You know what I'm saying? So Lamont, so I'm a Marine, Ace, just so you know. You know what I'm saying? My brother Lamont, we was in the Marines together. You know, getting busy.
Service.
Yeah, appreciate you. So he corrected me. He was like, "Yeah, you was rapping, but the first track you laid down was on the West Coast," which is absolutely fucking true. He's one of the people. He's one of the people when we was in Japan and I started to rap in Japan, and he was one of the people that really was like, "Nah, you got to keep going." Like when I say like a motherfucker that really believed in me, he was like, "Yo, you got to keep going. You got to keep going." And I don't know if you see it, but I'm in my studio right now. You know what I'm saying? I got the monitors, you know what I'm saying? So I've always, when you said like you built your studio in the crib, this is my crib. You understand what I'm saying? And every apartment that I've ever had, I built a studio in the apartment and did that, because it's nothing like waking up with that creative spark and just being able to go and press record and you feel me? Like you said, if you gotta get dressed, if you gotta get dressed, get in your car, call a cab, like you said, try to find it, you lose that shit. But when you could wake up, go right into your music room and press go. Yeah, that's the best shit right there, man.
But
I'm gonna tell on Cuzzo. Go ahead, Cuzzo. You better tell him. I'm gonna tell on
you. By the way, I just want to quickly say thank y'all for the 5 mics inspiration. If y'all see some cards with the name Madness and Bad Chad and Massacre, just know that that's a love letter from 5 mics to y'all. Okay.
Yo, wait. So I got one request, right? So we got, ladies and gentlemen, be clear, we got the cards, right? But I don't want to open mine though. Right? You know why? Because I feel like these shit's gonna be classics, and you know, with classics, especially with cards, I used to collect cards. The most pristine order they in is worth the most value. So all I say is, if you do create those cards, could you possibly give it to us in a seal pack so I could actually keep it? And I need you to autograph it for me too, so that, you know what I'm saying? Man, I would love that, man.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask something crazier, not as easy.
Nah, that's it, bro. Because that shit means something, bro. And you know, we could pass this down to our kids, and like, you know, and they could see like, yo, Pops was really doing his thing. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you even thinking of us like that, man. For real.
A lot of people say they're gonna send stuff and don't send it.
That's a fact.
Keep it in the beans. Keep it in the
fact. That's a fact.
Really? Oh,
we've experienced everything. You never know. It's all love, but we just experience everything. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. If you don't, you don't. It's all good. It's all love.
Listen, man. I'm just like that. That's how I feel. I mean, y'all know how the music industry is, and how it can be. And I felt more. I mean, like, I'm working at these companies. I want to big up the company more than myself.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm working at these companies, and like, they have specific like requirements of the employees when they are in the building, when they are contracted to do the work. And so I can't show up a certain type of way and being like, oh, but you know, I'm a rapper, I'm drunk, I'm high. It's like, I can't, that will get me straight out the door. Right. And so I don't know, man. It just really bothers, I guess, present tense, right? It's just like how some people treat the industry like it's not a job. Like it's work. Even this, like this, what y'all are doing right now, it's beautiful. It's love. It's fun. We can do this in our sleep. We can do 3 times a week interviewing people. If don't you dare put that fucking idea. I'm gonna throw it at Jarrett's face. You know what I mean? Like what? You ain't enough. You ain't enough. You trying to get? Why are we? Listen. No, stop it. Okay, I used to work at YouTube. Why are you not dropping a single video every single day? It should be new content. You just split it up, breaking into 7. Now I'm playing with you. But look, like the whole point.
Hell no. To the no.
We do. We post 10 times a day.
But right? But it's like, yes, that's work. That's work.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
It's work though. And like, some people don't want to work when it's the thing. You can't have a dream if you don't work. I literally have a song. There's a song I got called Tesla. Actually, I talk about it all the time. It's like, it's a reoccurring leitmotif. That's a big word for us. Where it's like, everybody got a dream and it's beautiful. Ain't enough to dream though, baby. Gotta do it too. Like, it's not like everyone. Every day I get like 10 different ideas from other people about what I can do with 5 mics. I'm the only one doing the work. And by me, I mean me and my team. But like, we are the only ones doing the work. And so like, everyone can come up with ideas, but if you think your idea is better, by all means do it. Like if I don't have the capacity to do it, then by all means do it. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't want to do the work, and that's fine. That's cool. I'm not, listen, there's a space for everybody. But what I'm saying to us, right, is it's just beautiful to actually mean what you say and do what you say you're going to do. That's work, but that's the dream. And so from the jump, Joe was like, yo, want you on the cat, da-da-da. I was like, boom, I want you to play 5 mics. Whether it's here, whether it's, you know, in a crib, whatever the case may be, but you can't play 5 mics if you don't have it. And as a gift for you giving me this time and this platform to be able to share my story and da-da-da with y'all, my gift to y'all is, hey man, have some cards, have fun, have play, or keep it in the rap and collect it if that's your vibe too. I ain't gonna tell you what to do. It's just like Uno, like you could come up with your own rules. I ain't gonna tell you, yo, Uno be trying to tell people how to play. Uno is like, bro, sit over there. It's cool. We got it. Like we got our own house rules. So do whatever you want to do, but it's my gift to you. That's it. That's message.
It is, man. And we, like Cuzzo said, and because we're transparent, Ace, because we're transparent, we don't ask our guests to do a thing that we not going to do. You already told you what number you are, 245.
That's dope.
245, right? Cool. And like Cuzzo said, from different industries, completely different industries, different products. A lot of our guests that run the company, that own the company, that control the distribution,
that can hit the button,
be like, yo, I'm gonna send you this, send you that.
Maybe they're busy. Maybe they got busy.
That's why I'm under that.
A fucking pencil, and I'm just saying.
Maybe they got.
I just say I appreciate you. Thank you for sending it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. It's all. If you can't send it, just be real with us. Just be real.
I'm just saying, if you knew you wasn't going to send it, or you knew you wasn't going to make it a priority, you should have never offered it. I'm
in my spirit. I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I am out loud telling you, hey man, my dad told me they don't owe me nothing.
Right.
Even they don't owe me the truth of their words, bro. That's how I've interpreted this.
I got you.
They don't even owe me the truth of their words. And this is no more prevalent than in the entertainment industry where people go, ooh, let's collab. Like, bro, if you all right, take care. That's how I respond. Because that's I don't trade Instagrams. I'm not with that. I don't like what? Like, brethren, like I've been in these companies. I see how the Excel spreadsheets work. I see how the algorithms work. I understand the things, and I also understand we don't control these things. So at any given day, they can wake up and be like, hey man, this is how our platform is going to run from this point forward. And the whole business that you've operated on going in this way, now just rooted overnight. You got to figure out how to play their new game. It's like, brethren, why play their game when I can make my own game? And that's the mindset. That's the mindset. And so I like to stay around people that's thinking like me, and if they're not, then cool. It's great to meet you. We'll meet a lot of people on this earth before we die. You know what I mean?
So before we get into the cards, talk about you as Billboard-charting as an independent artist.
That was fun.
Talk about that journey, bro. As an independent artist, what kind of resources, what kind of investment? How do you become a Billboard-charting artist as an independent?
So before they changed the rules.
Okay. So talk to us. What are the rules before then?
Like they change the rules all the time. Like when it's not your platform, you can change the rules all the time. Like when people were upset that, oh, hip hop's not in the top 50, 100, blah, 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 whatever. It's like, y'all know that they just changed the rules. And because they changed the rules, songs that were on the list are no longer on the list. Like y'all know that it was a cause and response, right? Like it's not, oh, what happened to hip hop? It's like, oh, what happened to the rules of the game? The game has changed. So I said all that to say, back in the day, there were different rules. And I learned the rules. And I was like, hey, if these are the rules, which was sell in a ballpark, I was aiming for like 1,000 week one sales, or whatever the case may be, because if you sold real albums, then like that would track. And this was 2018, 2019. So this was still in, like, this was streaming.
Yes,
and Apple didn't know who she wanted to be. So you had Apple Music and you had Apple iTunes. And if you sent somebody an Apple iTunes link, it would automatically go to Apple Music. So that was like one of the real, like, but I'm just giving y'all, because y'all are business people. Right? So how do I sell albums in an era where no one wants to buy an album? Right. And not even if nobody wants to buy an album, but the system does not want to encourage people to buy albums. It wants people to buy or stream, you know what I mean? Right. And so I sold individual albums via my website. There's a software called single.xyz where I created an album, and if people wanted to support, they can buy it there. And then I also have like bundled stuff. So if you buy this plus a shirt, right, or this plus a mug, or this plus right, whatever, like it was just goodies, right, extra goodies. I also had Bandcamp, which is still a platform where people can buy digital albums, and then just like found a workaround iTunes or whatever. But then it was just, at that time I was working at Facebook, which was allowed me to just walk just like this into a corporate environment, and just, you know, people are rapping my music while I'm like in a meeting type of stuff. So I had like real, you know, homies, shout out to my homies that, you know, I still know to this day, but like I had real friends that were also real fans of Call Me Ace. And so it was like, yo, buy this album so that we can hit the Billboard chart. It wasn't just a me thing, it was a we thing. It was like, I bet, let's do it. And it was an honor to my aunt, who, you know, passed away, and she was the one that exposed me to hip hop, and she was the one that gave me the Snoop Dogg album when my mom was trying to steer me a different path. You know, I heard Doggy Style at an early age and made me who I am. So, you know, it was an honor to you know, want to say,
Hey yo.
Impressed that.
Hey yo.
He pressed it twice.
So, yeah, no, you're right. And so
I'm just saying, the way Doggy Style made you who you are is crazy.
Because I love Jesus Christ.
I like the way it sounds.
Jesus knows that Doggy Style was the first rap album that I heard. So it was just, it was tell, right, share the story, share the narrative. What does airplane mode mean, right? Yeah. Like airplane mode was one, like at that point I just came back from like Southeast Asia. My wife was going on a bar trip. She just finished her last like law school class and took the bar and all this kind of stuff, right? So we're traveling the world, and you know, at that point we've been to a lot of different countries. Also just like mentally, it was just right, airplane mode, being focused. Literally, like I don't have notifications on my phone. It's very like silent. I like to stay locked in and focus on whatever it is that I'm doing. And then the third part was just that like, what do you do when you feel like you're on the rise? Like things are moving, right? It felt at that time in my career like things are moving. So airplane mode just fit all these different things. And so we did like a pre-album release party. You couldn't come in unless you ordered an album. People wanted to come to the show, so they ordered an album. We did all these different things, right, to get to that point where week one we had sales, and it was what it was. We was number 3 in the iTunes chart, hip hop chart, and we was number 50 in the Billboard's hip hop. They changed the rules like soon after. You know what I mean? Like,
no, fuck that. You got it.
We did it. We got it.
So what does the support system look like with that? How do you get so many people on one page? Because that's a lot of problem with a lot of artists as well, right? So what did your support system look like? What did your community look like to reach that?
Listen, that was around the time I remember there was a someone that reached out to me on Instagram, and he was like, yo, I've been following you since 2017, and this is really dope, and I'm really excited for you. And I had no idea at the time he was following me since 2017, right? But with the airplane mode and things were happening. Also had like really cool features. I had like Mick Jenkins and stuff like that on the album, so that was like fun. Kayla Love, shout out to my homegirl. But at that point, I was like, oh snap, I didn't know you existed, right? So it was that point where it was like, all right, this is beyond like people that I know. Right. So that's like a concept. Right. But as far as the people that I did know, the people that I could touch and feel, I mean, I've just been me. You know what I mean? Like this music, bro, this music stuff ain't. So many people want to look popping. I don't want to look popping. I want to be popping. And it was like, to be popping, like people have to actually like you. You know what I mean? People have to actually like care about you. And so for me, it was just that a lot of the people that have been supporting me on this journey and have supported like chapters. I'm talking like, they knew me when I was this and when I was that. Some people know the old stories of when I was young, ratchet, had the cornrows and all kind of stuff. Like they know that ace and they know this ace. And like, right, if they know you through the chapters, it's not even about what you're doing. It's about you. And so if you can build those kind of relationships with people, then they'll support you no matter what you're doing. You know what I mean? Hopefully, they will also be the same people that'll keep you in check if you look like you're steering away and doing stuff that you probably shouldn't be doing. But that's where like the inner circle, right? My wife,
Absolutely.
my mom, my brothers in Christ, right? Like folks that like I could just be real. They don't care none of this stuff. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, man, did you eat? Like, how's your life? How's your health? How's your right? Are you da-da-da-da? Like, you need those kind of people in your life where the glitz and the glamour and the Instagram caption don't mean more than you as a human being. And if you got that, I got an album coming out. Shout out to my homie Blankface. He produced the whole album. He's out in the UK. We actually got to link it. Me, him, and my family. We got to see each other when we was in London last year. Super dope. My daughter shouts out his tag every time she hears the music, which is just beautiful. But there's a song on there, and there's a line in there that I just forgot. I can never remember my music. So it is what it is. But the whole premise is that people, as dope as all this stuff is, I'm gonna paraphrase my own lyrics. The thing that keeps me grounded is my wife and my kids, my faith, all this stuff. Like at the end of the day, what am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for? Right. And so it's cool seeing these accolade things, but like the journey is actually the reward. I was just saying this to somebody earlier today. The journey, man, that's actually our reward, man. The stuff that we learn on this journey, when people see the accolades, it's too late. It's too late. That's the iceberg of the stuff I've already gotten. I can do so much more now because of the process that who cares the icebergs that are going to pop up as a result of it. You know what I mean? So that's come back to like support. I mean, it's investing in people, man. Actually seeing people for people. Like when I reached out to you, I just wanted to show love, man. I think what you and your cousin are doing is fantastic. I think it's dope. I've been watching the episodes. I think they're gems upon gems. Everyone should be watching the episode. Don't just watch because it's me. Like, go backwards, go forwards, right? And so for you to even be in the same wavelength and be like, bro, I wasn't even doing it for that. But off the strength, I'm like, yo, bro, I appreciate you even wanting me to be on it. You know what I mean? Let's do it. You know what I mean? But like, what if it was like, hey man, can I be on your podcast? Like, would that have changed the way that you saw me? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't need you to answer, but I just want you to think about that. And I want everybody to think about that. Like, how are you approaching people? Like, do you actually care or do you just want something? And like, I don't know, bro. I feel like
you preaching right now, bro. You talking?
All right, then I'm gonna stop.
No, we going to where we got to go with the show. That's the right place.
I'm gonna relax.
No, bro, that's exactly where we gotta go. Because that's real shit, bro. That's real shit. I do want to talk about something else too. You mentioned, right? So you're in a major corporation. They know your name. What is that like, though? Like, talk about that. You're trying to ascend the corporate ladder, but you're also this, right? So you're fighting two different yous. It's called me ace, then it's ace, right? Because I'm asking you because I've dealt with the same thing on a personal brand standpoint. So how did you deal with that? And when was the moment that you said, I'm done. I'm doing me?
Man. How does it feel like leaving the corporate world and then doing me? Or how did it feel like while I was in the corporate world?
You. So you have a brand within this organization. They know you, right? So that's kind of like a cheat. Like, you can fast track it, right? So when I walked in the Hootsuite, I say that because I walked in the Hootsuite, I already had a personal brand of 20,000 on LinkedIn. So when I came in there, you know how many coffee chats I got? You know what I'm trying to say?
Right,
so like
right.
Somebody in corporate, they know who you are, and you got to utilize your relationships, your allies, and all that stuff. So what was that like? Why did you just say fuck the ascent? Like, I'm just gonna go.
Well, I got laid off, so it wasn't like that. I wasn't using words. I wasn't using those words to describe my exit.
Talent that's on the line. And
so what happened is nuts. And this is the beauty of the Lord orchestrating our steps, even though we're crafting our plans. Was while I was on baby bonding leave, which is what they call, the time off to spend with your kid when you have a kid, for those that aren't, corporate speak kind of stuff. So I had like 4-ish months of time. And in addition to, I don't want to make it sound like I wasn't, in addition to spending time with my child, I was also building the concept of 5 Mics, the hip hop trading card game. I had this idea since 2017, 2016, 2017, around 2021, 2022. I'd been like etching away from it between 2016 and 2021. At the start of 2022, shout out to Daryl Frater. I was talking to my homie, and he was like, yo, you need to do this ASAP. He's an investor. I was like, bet, like, you know this stuff. So then I go on Baby Bond. I do the TEDx talk. I go on Baby Bond and leave around May-ish, June. And then for the rest of the year, I'm building a pitch deck. I'm talking to CEOs and accelerators and this, that, and da, while taking care of my child as well. You feel me? We get into Techstars Music. They're like, all right, you're going to start Techstars at the end of January 2023. I'm like, cool. I got laid off a week before I started Techstars Music. So I got a severance package from Google, and I had that severance package, and I went into Techstars. So then I immediately, mind you, I had an album called Return to Office that I had scheduled to drop for when I was going to return to office, because that's how I make music. I have my music reflect my life. So Return to Office drops, but I'm laid off. So I actually never returned to the office. So then I subsequently made a new album called Severance, which actually captured everything that I was going through as somebody that just had severance and being this like full-time artist. That's my real life. That's my like actual life in music form. So
fire. Crazy.
Now, what does all that mean? So like when I got into YouTube, the job description wasn't for music, but after I got hired, the hiring manager said, hey, because you have, what was it, like 5 years, 6 years of music industry experience as an independent artist doing my stuff, being in commercials, video games, all this stuff, we have this opportunity for you to help us create this music label development program for this specific subset of labels in our ecosystem and as the program manager, would you be down? And I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. So like my role changed after I got hired because of who I was, right? That experience was really dope. I did less like, it was also the pandemic, right? So we're like working from home mostly. I did more like performing on campus at Facebook. I literally like the CMO was like, yo, we need Ace to perform at our marketing summit, you know? So I'm like rapping in front of 800 people. You know what I mean? Like that was fun. That was wild. I've done like 1,000-person shows at Facebook. It was nuts. I started
fire.
You know, I have a song called Facebook. After I left, it was like, you can't spell Facebook without ACE. I was that guy. You know what I mean? Facebook was fun. Google, YouTube, I actually felt like I couldn't be as musical because of the constraints of the current situation.
Yeah.
So even though like my relationships were, you know, still strong and still dope, I felt like I was doing more music stuff outside of work, but also at the same time, I was just getting more zealous to do stuff outside. Like I wanted to build 5 Mics, you know what I mean? Like I can always rap. Rap is dope. I love hip hop. I love rap. You know, that'll never leave me. But as I started to see more and more how these systems can just change, the algorithms can change, the rules can change, I was like, yo, what if I can build something that actually is bigger than me, can actually be a platform for other artists to gain exposure, new fans, be able to recoup on their own brand equity, be able to get value that's larger than 0.004 cents per card, and do it in a way that's never been done before, in a way that could be culturally relevant. And that to me was just bigger than anything that I had ever worked on up to that point. So
like it. I only got one question to follow up on that. And it's just one question, because I grew up like a lot of urban kids with the artistic thing too. We did a lot of graffiti back in the day. And I used to be on punishment for like half a year at a time. So it fostered my creative abilities. So I learned how to draw.
Wait, pause. I shared that with you, bro, because I was in detention and suspension for a lot of time. And that gave me a lot of like solemn, like it wasn't prison, but it felt like, okay, now I get to sit and just like, use my skills.
He came outside when he was 8. You know, you missed the whole 8-year-old.
I'm telling you,
yo,
Ace, I do some shit. I do some shit in September in school, right? And my mother be like, "Let's talk Easter."
Come on.
Like, let's talk Easter.
Everything. Come on, bro. I know.
Crazy. But so the reason that I asked you that, right? Because boom, artists now, right? Artists, right?
Yeah.
And you're choosing to like commemorate this big thing, and you're like, I want to create something that can obviously pass down. And it's because you mentioned that you drew, like my first thing was, okay, why don't you create a comic book, right? And also in the era of you growing up, I don't know if you see the art toys behind me and stuff like that. You know, art toys were coming up big back then. You could have created the art toys. So what made you decide on like a trading card amongst any other type of medium that you could have kind of created the same way? I'm curious about that.
All right. So can you think of other hip hop comic books?
None. I don't know none.
Well, Nas just dropped a hip hop comic book with Marvel.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like last week.
Okay.
Yeah. There's or not last week, but a few weeks ago. There's a few. There's definitely a few.
Okay.
But think of like Boondocks, right? It's like live animation, but
right?
Like comic book anime type of feel, right? If you think of like the medium trading card game. So for like me personally, I told you I did capoeira. I told you I cleaned bowls with dirt in the middle of nowhere. I taught myself how to do HTML in middle school, right? I just want to give you like I wear gold chains and I'm from the hood, but I just want to like remind you.
Right.
I also played trading card games, right? Now I played Madden, I played NBA, I played Tekken, I played all this, right? But I played in the corner with a couple other people, Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh and all those ones, right? Now, being where I'm from, it was like I don't really have a large subset of people to play this with, but I see other people in other parts of the world where they got a whole bunch of people playing this stuff with. Cool. And that just like stayed with me for a long period of time. And then one day, man, I was just like, yo, what if instead of dragons and magicians, you had rappers with superpowers? And that was the concept of the trading card game. Could that open up a whole lane of opportunity for people to play the game that otherwise have never even like attempted to play this concept of gaming? And that was the aha moment to me, right? The aha was, I never want to do what other people are doing. And even gaming, right? Like rapper fighting game, like that's Def Jam. You know what I mean? That's 50 Cent, rapper shooting game. That's 50 Cent Bulletproof. That's rapper music.
Nah, I still got my Def Jam. I ain't gonna hold you. That's my favorite. That's my favorite rap game.
It was a relic. It was a relic in time, and we're never gonna get another one like it because of the ecosystem that it was built in. I even learned about how that was made, but I don't want to detract this. But it's like, right, you got Def Jam, you got 50 Cent Bulletproof, you got some real classic like hip hop games. And I was just like, I want to do something that no one's ever done before. I'm that type of rapper too, by the way. Like I don't rap how other people rap. I don't use the same words other people. I want you to feel like, wow, I've never heard that bar before. I don't want to be like esoteric and da-da-da. I'm not trying to be lyrical, but I want you to feel like, yo, I've just never heard this before. That's how you feel, right? And so very much similarly, it was like, yo, I know for a fact, I did my Googles. No one's done this, and not in the way that we're finna do it. And the fact that it's built off of original IP, Brethren, we can and we will go into comic books and make, right? We can, like, that's literally on the roadmap, right? We can take our IP and turn them into fighting games. That's also on the roadmap. I don't got no for fighting games. I love fighting. You know what I mean? But I want to start in a space where I know no one can copy. You know what I mean? Because if we start there, we already got an advantage. We already got an edge. And then on top of that, we're going to a space now. This isn't just trading cards. This is a trading card game. So the utility matters. So this isn't no like pump and dump scheming, like, oh, there's some famous rapper, and just buy it to hold it kind of thing. Even though I was at this this concert, and I had a Conway the Machine card, an Alchemist card, you know, I had other cards, right? MERS, right? And I'm giving them to these rappers, but on our table we had them as a display, and people was passing by and it was like, yo, how much for that like Conway the Machine card? I'm like, I'm not selling it. And I could see it like broke the collector's heart. But for me, I wasn't trying to sell. You know what I mean? Kind of the opposite of what Jarrett was saying earlier. Is like, yo, I'm gonna sell a mixtape even if it's die. I probably should have low key. My wife was like, yo, you should have sold it. But like for me,
you license the content. You can license it out.
So my whole point, right? I just want to play ethically, bro. I just want to play ethically.
That's real.
I don't got the rights to this. It's okay. I'm not trying to be Dapper Dan right now. Right now, I just want to give this card to the Alchemist. I gave it to the Alchemist. He lost it. I gave it to Conway the Machine. He lost it. I gave it to Bootleg Kev. He lost it. You know what I mean? That's all I wanted to do. And I wanted them to know that you can be in this game. Fast forward, our booster box that's coming out. We got 5 real artists. They're not those artists that I just mentioned, but they'll be released over time. They'll be announced over time. But like they got a following. You feel me? And so now in this world of trading card game, it's a game. So utility matters. So like, this card headliner, which is kind of blurry right now. You can't see it right, but it says re-up 2. Re-up, by the way, is a hip hop trading card game. It speaks our language. You know what I mean? Just like how the other card games speak their language and we got to learn it, it's vice versa for everybody else, right? So re-up 2, you get 2 new bags that you get to spend right now. You know what I mean?
I love it.
I'm not joking with you. I'm not joking.
The re-up is crazy.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking, right? So you got headliner, re-up 2, boom, right? Now, the value of that card, what is the value of that card? Well, as with everything, value is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, cool. What if 100 people say that this card is worth a certain amount? All right, bet. Now, that is a stat. That's a real stat. I will pay you X amount for that card so I can put it in my deck so I can play this card game with other people. All right, cool. That's a thing that is already happening. I'm not making this up. That's been happening for 30 years since Magic the Gathering. All right, cool. Now you combine that. Let's take a step back. Magic the Gathering made $200 million a year. Magic the Gathering made $200 million in a day selling their Final Fantasy crossover box on release day, right? Cool. Final Fantasy. Do you think hip hop is bigger than Final Fantasy? And this is no shade to Magic the Gathering. This is no shade to Final Fantasy. I'm just asking a very simple question.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. See, Cuzzo, you don't play Final Fantasy. I'm a Final Fantasy fanatic, and I'm gonna say I don't know, man. I would have to see the numbers because Final Fantasy, when it comes to that type of open, listen to me, Cuzzo. When it comes to open world, open map game, like Final Fantasy, I don't think like in that era, nothing was bigger than Final Fantasy other than like before that was like Zelda, bro. I'm saying Final Fantasy is that big, bro. I'm keeping it 100 with you, bro. Final Fantasy is that game, bro.
Okay. Now give me a bar from Final Fantasy real quick. Any bar. I don't care. I don't care. Any bar, any word, any phrase.
My brain don't work that way.
Okay,
it's not bigger than hip hop. You told him.
Reggie, give me a random hip hop bar right now.
That's cheating.
That's
I listen to hip hop every day. Hold on, time out. Wait. Yes, it is.
I don't know if that's cheating. Is that cheating?
No. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's cheating. Okay. I have every Final Fantasy through all the systems that it came out through.
Just give me a word. Give me something.
But I don't play Final Fantasy every day. I listen to hip hop every single day.
That's my whole point. That's my whole point.
Okay.
That's my whole point. I love Final Fantasy too. Okay. Like I said, there's no shade to Final Fantasy nor Magic. That I love both of them. You feel me?
Right.
Talk about it.
Hip hop taught people how to walk, how to talk. Listen, brethren, there was a point in my life. I told you, be a student always. I'm learning every day. There was one point in my life I was learning how to speak French. Okay. With a person from Morocco who had an English that sounded like 50 Cent. And I asked her, how do you speak like you're from Brooklyn, like you're from Queens? And she told me, because I listened to 50 Cent and Eminem, and that's how I learned my English. Brethren, she never stepped foot in the U.S. Right. She's only lived in Morocco.
Right.
She speaks like she's from the Bronx, bro. I'm not. I have
no. You said Brooklyn. I'll go Brooklyn, but I'm not giving you the Bronx.
like she's from Brooklyn.
I'm gonna you know how they like.
Hell no, to the no. He's out of control.
I give you Brooklyn. I'm not giving you the big Bronx.
When she talks, she sounds just like 50 Cent. I'm not lying. And I couldn't learn. I had to cancel my subscription. I couldn't learn French. I was like, I'm tripped up. I'm tripped up right now because you're lying to me. Like I was getting offended. And all I'm saying is that's the depth of hip hop, bro.
Yeah.
Like it is a learning criteria for some
people. It is.
It's a style. You think of Japan where like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh was big, all the trading card game stuff. You know what else is big out there, bro? Hip hop.
Yeah.
Major.
And so when I think of the lane that we're going in, what's beautiful about Five Mics is it's not based off of a specific rapper IP. It doesn't have to be. It's based off the concept of hip hop, the cards. There's 5 styles in the game. There's chill and party, hardcore, emo, hip hop, conscious. And there's even a freestyle style, right? Which kind of feels like anything. And you can build a 30 card deck based off of whatever styles. You can mix styles, whatever the case may be. But the chill cards feel like you're chilling. The hardcore cards feel like you're being aggressive. The conscious cards feel like I'm playing the slow game. Like I'm investing for the future. I'm not trying to win it right now, but I'm gonna get it in the end. Like it fit. The party style feels like literally the style philosophy is money is power. So if you like re-up, all you're doing is re-upping and party. You're throwing money in the air. The artists are fly. They deal direct damage to the face. That's how it feels. It should end in 3 rounds because you're here for a good time, not a long time. And so all of this thought I put into the game because I'm a nerd, bro. But I love hip hop too. It's a beautiful thing. And when people play it, I can go to somebody from South Central that like I did the other day, and he was like, yo, this feels like rapper spades. And I'm like, exactly. And I could go to somebody else who is deep in a One Piece, Hearthstone, whatever. And they're like, oh, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, but balanced. And I'm like, right. They're both right. Both speaking different languages. The beautiful thing, and I know we're closing on time, the beautiful thing about going to all these different environments in my life is that now I'm able to talk to a lot of different people to say one thing. And so the beautiful thing about hip hop, like someone said in the comments, hip hop is global, hip hop is universal. Right now in Egypt, hip hop feels the way that it did back in the 90s for us, right? Revolutionary. Let's talk about the truth. Let's whoop, whoop, da, 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 da. Like hip hop means so much to so many different people. And the fact that we can tap into that in a way that's so diverse, it's bigger than a joystick and some pixels. Yeah. You can have an experience that's unique to you and your squad, different from that person and their squad, and it's both right. That's why I wanted to make this game.
Message.
Love it. Yeah. So
wait, because we got. I gotta get these at least one comment on from Instagram. Instagram, hey, YouTube, they're going crazy. Hey, go ahead, Cuzzo, you can read this one. I got the next one.
Hip hop cards will go crazy within the battle rap community. Battle rappers would embrace it. I agree.
I agree.
T-Rexes, the Murder Mooks,
I agree. I agree.
That's crazy.
But if you created a Cassidy battle rap card, it would be crazy. I'm with you, Cuzzo.
Business to go to the back end. It's just licensing it. Same way we had the CEO of Rap Snacks. It's the same concept.
Love that.
Yeah.
Licensing the IP to put on your IP. So there's a way to do it where everybody wins. It's just
100%. And the 5 artists that are in the first booster box, that's exactly what we got. Artist partnership deals, right?
Yep. There you go.
We got a deal where, you know what I mean? Everybody can. I want everybody to feel like they're gonna win, and they'll tell you like the deal because I know how the music industry already is. They look at the contract, they're like, this can't be real. They're like, where's the underlining? And it's like, there's no underlining, yo. I want you to win because I'm an artist too. So if I was in your shoes, what kind of deal would I want? That's what I want this to be. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, they're hype. I'm hype. We're hype. You know, this is a hip hop trading card game, bro.
We're gonna want to talk to the specifics too, but talk about the Instagram comments.
Wait. Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say one. H, you just commented on it, but we like to give our people that actually make comments and stuff a lot of airtime, you know what I'm saying, to keep them engaged, right? So you said thank you at Official. So Official 32 said, Ace, I read your article on how you charted, and then I hit 95 on the Billboard top current albums chart. Appreciate the inspiration. Hold on, bro. Hold on. You're not getting away from that, Ace. Like, you're not gonna just say thank you for that.
That's dope.
Ace, you're not gonna see. This is what we're talking about. We're not going to just say thank you to that. You changed somebody's fucking life, bro. Like when we talk about understanding the power of a person, and your movements, you change somebody's fucking life, bro. That is serious, bro, because you can change somebody's life one or two ways, right? Negatively or positively. This man told you, I read your article, you inspired me, and I went hard. Now, guess what? He wins, his family wins.
Yeah.
His friends win. He creates a whole new winning circle based off of the inspiration that he got from you.
Message.
Not gonna just run past that. Take the time to enjoy that. That's a small win. You can be very ambitious and keep moving the goalposts.
Listen, man. Shout out that win, bro. I appreciate you for dropping that. That means a lot. Shout out to you, man, because you did the work. I don't know how hard that was for you. I don't know what you had to do to make it happen. I don't know how the rules changed in order for you to figure out, all right, based off of what Ace said, this is how I'm going to interpret it to do but you did the work, and shout out to you. That's awesome, man. And thank you for sharing that.
We'll let you know, we if you got a hard stop, we got a hard stop, but we good.
I can go for
into the business of it. And I want to, while we here, if we can get it rocking and popping, because I want to get into it. So like you telling us about the creation of the thing. Let's talk about business. I want to talk about business, bro. What was your first thought? Where do I get these cards created? What does that look like? All of that stuff. Like, what is the creation process of this? Because the trading game was the 2 o'clock in the morning idea. That was the 2 o'clock in the morning. And then you had to have your wife be like, yo, man, that's good. You had to have your friends say, yo, that's good. Yeah. But you still had to figure out the work. What did the work look like for you?
Yeah, the work was a bunch of iteration. The trading card game from a physical perspective launched in August to October 2024. When I went into Techstars Music, the idea was to do this digitally. I always had physical in mind, but the first step was, oh, let's do this digitally. So I spent 18 months with the team that we had at the time to do it digitally. Things fell through. Things wasn't working the way that they were supposed to work. I went to DreamCon 2024, and I just so happened, I was like, yo, man, because at that point we had all the artwork. We already did tons of iteration. I knew the game was solid. I knew it was playable. I knew it was fun. Like all those are like the initial things you want to get checked off before you invest extra time and money, right? Like building something to launch. And so I already knew the game was fun. Now I was like, all right, bet we got to like give it to people. But I made a physical version of the decks because I was personally, it's my baby. I want to see it. I want to hold it, So I went to this event and I'm playing it with people and I'm like, yo, the digital's coming soon, but here's the physical as we wait. And it was like, yo, if you had this available to buy right now, we'd buy everything. And you hear that, Mr. I'll sell a mixtape for $1. It's like, what are we doing? So
I got mad mixtapes.
Right. I got mad cards and I got mad cards. So what are we doing? So then the digital ended up not working. Like we were hitting the button. It's not dropping. What's going on? I find out that the code wasn't real code. It was bad code. I'm no longer working with that person, right? But it was an eye opener, right? In that month of August, I'm born in August 15th. So in that month, as a gift to myself, I taught myself C# so that I can rebuild the code architecture. And then I also took hey, if you have this available for physical, we'd buy this immediately. And I figured out what I need to do to make this available physically. And by the end of August, I had a manufacturer. I had a new architecture for the game. I knew C#, a pre-order campaign for the starter decks, outsold that. I bet we're in motion. And the first 18 months spent digitally trying to build the game. That month was like, all right, bet we actually made money. So we're doing physical. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
don't miss.
No, he's fucking.
You're fucking yo. So what was before we get into you why we laughed with the August 15th?
You know, Cuzzo, we rehearsed it. They're gonna say we rehearsed it.
Before we get into that, what was the biggest loss you took in the business in them 18 months? I'm just curious, bro. What's something you don't mind sharing? Because it's always a moment in entrepreneur's journey where it's like you're gonna keep going or you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
What was that moment for you, bro? Back against the wall, we even make this happen. What was that moment?
I mean, I listen, I have those moments every day, but that month, it was I mean, like I said, so the game was able to be played on your phone, single player,
Single
In
player.
August, we wanted to launch it so that you and I can play multiplayer. So I'm hitting the button, and Apple is not taking the new build of the game. And the people that we were working with, we spent a good week and a half. It was like October 2nd. By the time it was my birthday, it was like, oh, so the reason why is because blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get too nerdy and technical.
Yeah,
we found out the reason, and it was like, okay, bet there's nothing we can do. Like, it's not even salvageable. Everything about this code, the infrastructure, it's like if someone told you, like, why can't he breathe? It's like, oh, because his heart's broken. It's like, well, you need a new heart. I need a new, like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I could do all the work to like replace the heart, or I could just get a new body, which the analogy's gone crazy and it is what it is. But that's basically what we had to put the old version to rest, and we had to build a new one.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do as an entrepreneur, bro.
Learning how to code was not hard. It was the what do I do from this point? And if I didn't hear Jarrett say I would buy all of these right now if you had them available, I don't know. But like that's how God works. And so it was like I heard that, and 3 days later the digital game stuck. It was like, all right, bet. Well, something's got to happen because I know this can work, right? If 5 mics couldn't work because the game was trash, that's one completely different thing. Why are we doing this? We can go to corporate tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, why are we doing this? But if you know you got the blue magic, then what is in the way of me getting the blue magic to the people? What is in the way?
Oh, talk your shit, bro.
Anyway.
He's talking that shit, bro.
Anyway.
He's talking that shit. Nah, he's talking.
So that's really what it was. So it was like, all right, bet. How do we get around this? And so it was 2 parts, and instead of choosing one or the other, I chose both. It was like, all right, rebuild the digital. All right, I'm gonna do that. Sell it physical. All right, I'm gonna do that. And then I found new people to work with where it was like, all right, bet now I know how to code. So as I'm interviewing them, I see that they know how to code. And shout out to Zaire because he's a really dope coder, right? And he's been able to take the baton, right, and go further than what I was able to do at the time. And it's a beautiful thing. So now we got the digital coming through. We got the physical we just got the physical proof photos this morning, looking crazy. Can't wait for them to come back from China and do some pack cracks online. Listen, man, this is crazy. What are we talking about?
I'm gonna say, before we get into it again, this is well fucking done.
Thank you.
This is well done.
Thank you.
Packaging, your email, your response. I got a newsletter email saying that you was going to be on the podcast. The marketing is on point, bro. Like everything's on point. But from a physical standpoint, not saying where did you go, but like how do you make sure of this? How do you get it to this quality? How many iterations?
Oh, that's samples. That's sampling though. You got to just design it, order it.
I mean, you made music. You made music, right? Like so you just, if you're an artist, bro, like this is art to me. This is art to me, right?
Absolutely.
And this and shout outs to my team as well, right? Like I'm not doing this by myself, right? And so we got Kayla and Rama, right, our 2 product designers, right? And so it's tons of, hey man, let's close this white space, let's change the font, let's da. Sometimes they'll show me something that's just crazy and it's like, yo, no notes, let's just run with it, right? But it's art, you know what I mean? Like it got to feel right to us. If it feels right to us, it's gonna feel right to them. You know what I mean? And so I take it seriously. So I'm glad that you appreciate it.
No, bro, it's very well made, but I also know it takes.
That's why I don't want to open my.
Like that's what I'm trying to say.
I feel like these are worth a lot of money.
We appreciate it because we're going through this podcast. You know how many iterations we have to get to this iteration?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And this ain't even the final. And this ain't even the final.
This ain't even the final. We about to get executive producer. We just got some major guests for December.
Come on.
And beyond.
And that's why we celebrate the process. We're not there's no end. There's no end. There's a song I got where it's like,
talk about it.
I'm like, I'm gonna stop once I hit the top or whatever I say, because y'all know by now I don't remember my lyrics. I just write them and I go. But it's just like, I'm gonna stop when I hit the top, and it's like, y'all know ambition don't work like that. Like I'm never gonna stop. Like it's just I'm always going to keep going. And so if there's no end, when do you celebrate? And so now I can never celebrate and live a life like that, or I could celebrate every step that we take, because every step, whether up or down, left or right, it's the journey. That is the actual journey. And so You gotta celebrate when it looked a certain type of way, because it can't look the better way unless it looked that way. So celebrate the way that it looked right now.
I'm just saying, when motherfuckers is fighting to keep the lights on, when motherfuckers is fighting to pay the bills, when motherfuckers is fighting to keep the company
They don't
open,
understand. They don't understand.
It's hard to celebrate.
They don't understand.
It's
and
hard
you know
to
what's crazy? And you know
it's
what's
hard
crazy?
to celebrate, Ace.
You know what's crazy though?
100.
You know what's crazy? And true, right? Like
Yeah.
especially when you're competitive, especially when you're an athlete, right? It's hard to celebrate in the third quarter when you're preparing for the fourth. You know what I mean? You actually don't want to celebrate if you're up 5 points on the third. You want to celebrate when the game's over and you know you're 5 points up for sure. That's how you want to celebrate, right? So there is a thing about like you don't want to celebrate too. Oh man, well at least I got 10 points on the board. It's like, bro, but we lost. So it's like it matters when you're celebrating, sure. But in the real game of life, man, the fact that you're even fighting to keep the lights on, the fact that you even have that energy, there's a part in you that got to be like, yo, man, I'm still after it. I still want this. I still want this. Like that is that the want is still worth celebrating. Don't, to everybody that's listening, right? Like, don't wait to celebrate your life. Because that's really what this is. That's really what this is. Like, don't just wait to your birthday to be like, wow, I'm so thankful for life. Like, don't wait till Valentine's Day to celebrate your wife. Like, I wasn't even trying to rap, but you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Just find those moments.
Like it. If anybody want to celebrate me, it's always Valentine's Day. Send some shit to more than the title.
Come on.
Send Chadeo some motherfucking flowers. I like chocolates, covered strawberries. I like, we call them shit edible arrangements and all that. Send me and Cuzzo some shit and celebrate us. Celebrate your favorite podcast, goddammit. Listen, but why not? Listen, we like to be celebrated, goddammit.
You shitting me? You kidding me? Are you shitting me? You kidding me? Now we've had some dope shit happen for fans. We've had some dope shit happen for fans, but that shit's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You're a great interviewer, bro. So what does it look like? What does it look like for you to build your community? What does the community of Call Me Ace and 5 Mics look like?
Man, I guess they just look like people, just leans in people, just people that I like being around. People that like being around me and what we got going on. I think what's really cool, what we're seeing is, especially in 5 Mics, right? Like, because again, it's one thing, right? As an artist, people hit you up, rapping your lyrics to you or calling you Mr. Call Me Ace. And, that's cool. That's fun. And I appreciate those moments, right? But there's another thing, when like, I don't know, maybe y'all feel this way if somebody like shares a link to your podcast episodes without you asking, or, recommending people to come on your show and like helping you like build the pipeline and stuff. By the way, I'm getting the knock, so I gotta go in a bit, but I got kids and they're wilding. But right, there's another thing of like people playing the game without you. You know what I mean? Like it's when people are making videos about your game without you. When people are, shout out to Uncle TCG, he's our block runner in Virginia, who is teaching everybody in the DMV how to play 5 Mics. Like, love it. You know what I mean? Like, shout outs to, right? Like, shout outs to Game Ninjas, X Sage out in Detroit. Shout outs to Ty in the Inland Empire, right? Shout outs to the folks that are really like on the ground pushing it forward. It's like, that's community. It's the last thing that I'll leave us with is
if you don't put that down.
Now listen. I got my 3-year-old daughter. Listen, she don't care about none of this. All right, she about to bust this door down, and she about to steal me. So I'm about to dip. But
nothing we do.
Andy Crouch, Playing God. I read this book, okay, and he said there's a difference between use and abuse. Use, we all do it. That's what makes us human. It's a relationship thing. It's a give and take, right? You give to me, I give to you. It's a beautiful thing. Abuse is when you take and don't give, right? And so community should be something where we feel like it's harmonious. We're boom, 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 boom. Value is being exchanged, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's affection, whether it's whatever, you know what I mean? Talent, whatever it is, but value is being traded, and it is what it is. Abuse is when it's like, hey man, I want all of this from you just for me, and you don't get nothing back. What is that? That's not community. That's not relationship. So I'm gonna leave us with that.
So before you go, bro, we got to introduce you and welcome you to the More Than a Title family, bro. Welcome to the More Than a Title family, bro.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna need a part 2 because we're gonna play. I want to play the game in person.
Yeah, come on.
In the booth.
I spent too much time talking about my capoeira days, man. I should have held that one back. I should have held that to the chest.
No, we're gonna get in the booth. I'm telling you, in 2026, and we're gonna stream us coming up. We're gonna put a couple of beats on. We're gonna come up with a song for our album because we're doing a More Than Title album.
What? Wait, are you serious?
I'm dead ass. We already got songs.
That's so easy. That's so I literally make a song in 30, 40, 50 minutes and I rap it in one take. That's my whole style. That's my whole
Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's record it, bro. Let's show the process. Let's show the grind, man. I just want to say, as a brother, I love what you're doing. I love the mindset that you have. I love everything that you're doing as far as your community, man. Thank you for taking the risk. Thank you for taking the shot, bro. Because there's a lot of people that heard this shit and it's gonna be like, yo, this is dope. This is a lane that we need, bro. And I thank you for filling the void in the culture and the community that we fucking needed. So just don't think that shit don't go unnoticed. So our show is so dope because the gems are there if you're listening. They're there. You gave so many fucking gems that it'd be a 3-hour podcast, bro. 4-hour podcast. Can't keep going back. So I just want to say thank you for what you're doing, bro. I'm glad we connected. We connected for a reason. Anybody that we've had on the show prior or after, you have direct access to. You're our brother. You're talking to your brothers. You know what it is. So please, I don't have your number, bro, but in the private chat, just put your number.
1,000. We're
going to start a group chat, us three. We might have a play. We might not. We might just check in because it's Tuesday. That's what we on.
Easy. Sounds fresh, man. Appreciate you. And vice versa, man. I love what y'all doing. I loved it before I was on the show, so I appreciate being on this show. Thank y'all for I promise you there are conversations here that I haven't had anywhere else. And I some of that was on purpose, some of that just slipped up, but it was beautiful and it's great and it was meaningful. But all that said, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep doing it. This is dope. And I'm here for that next iteration. And if y'all dead serious, if y'all really making an album, like
I'm dead serious.
I need a verse. I need a song.
I'm telling you, we're gonna stream it. We're gonna bring the camera. We're gonna go to the studio and we're gonna get it right.
Say less. I shout out to my homie Blankface, bro. We got an album dropping in 3 weeks, bro. I'm just let him know your boy. You know he in business a little bit. It's called Founder CEO. That's an exclusive. It's coming.
Send us the links. And we're going to put it in this episode. Send us the links, bro. We'll support it. When it comes out, we'll support it. You're here, your family, bro. What you going to say? My bad.
No, what I was going to say was, Ace, while you're talking about the album, you can't talk about the album and not talk about the person. Let the people know where they can get in touch with Ace, right? What's the best way to get in contact with you? What's the best way to fucking get the trading cards? Like, you got to give the people the information so that they could go ahead and keep supporting you and link up with you, because we've had so much interaction on this fucking episode, man. I'm telling you, people want to know, yo, where can we get in contact with this dude? What's up? You got to let them know.
So first of all, you sound like my wife, because this is exactly what you do. Every time I do a show, every time I do something, she'd be like, so you're just not going to tell them nothing about it? Like you would think I don't sell. I'm not trying to sell. I'm trying to tell y'all something, right? Anyway, that being said, they have to, all right, callmeace.com. Call me Ace legit on any platform, you know what I mean? Instagram, whatever, even though I have to be on it. You could type up Ace Patterson, call me Ace on LinkedIn, you'll find me. 5 Mics, FIVEMICS.io. If you just type 5 Mics anywhere, you'll probably find us, but at the very least, put Hip Hop Trading Card Game, you'll find us. Tap in with us, yo. We got players in 70 cities. We got a few internationally. We got our first booster box coming at the end of January, early February. We'll see what tariffs look like in China. But we out here. We doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, man. So listen.
Play with us. Come play with us. You know what I mean?
Come on. Gangster. Go ahead, guys. Take us home. Pause. I didn't press it. Now you're on mute.
That was
bullshit.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
I said the come play with us was nasty. It was nasty.
Play with us. I'm sorry. I said it twice.
That was nasty.
Well, wait, I have a child.
The ladies Y'all don't care. Ladies and gentlemen,
No.
I said phenomenal.
Yes,
I said
sir.
even though I said it late, I said phenomenal. An hour, 44 minutes, and 30 seconds, and this shit erupted. We got so many people online. We got so many comments. Again, our guests come and they are vulnerable. This man was vulnerable. He told you how he grew up. He told you exactly what he experienced, right? He experienced the different life of other people. There it is. He told you that he was doing the motherfucking kick fighting karate dancing dance with the bandana around his head. You understand? He told you about his journey. He told you that he worked for several major Fortune 500 companies and he did what he had to do. But when it was time to leave or a situation happened when he had to move on, he wasn't afraid to do that. But how do you get to the point of where he got to? He kept working hard. Remember, we talked about that foundation. Even though he didn't understand what was being built into him, he had that work ethic, that foundation, that hustle, right? And he was like, yo, I'm not going to take no for an answer. You already seen that he's inspiring people on the chat. You've seen the comments already. This man is a family man. He's a businessman. He is more than a title. He's a brother. He's a love. You see, this is what we're talking about. And this is why we have guests on like this. This is why you need to hear this story so that you can relate to him and say, if he can do it, I can do it. And I'm just going to tell you something right now, right? Even if he doesn't, want to, lean into the stereotype, he's West Indian. Hey, man, they have like 17,000 jobs, which reiterates what I say to end off the show every motherfucking time. The dream is free. But the hustle, well, that's sold separately. You know what it is? More than the title, your favorite motherfucking podcast. We're going to see you on Thursday, and we're going to celebrate this classic today. You know what it is.
What you know about me? I seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done it all, just want it all.